Look, if you want to get more work done in your AI agency and as an AI developer, perhaps, in this video, I'm going to share with you something that I can probably say is a hack to just getting more stuff done because I haven't seen it like in the mainstream like productivity improvements. So I'm going to share it with you, and the reason I'm sharing it with you is because I started to apply it and it's working very well. Like I've been crushing my bad loops and bad habits to just get more work done. So I genuinely believe this can, yeah, just help you get more work done. And obviously, the more work you get done, the more likely you are to succeed in your own AI agency. So yeah, let me just introduce you to the concept of this video, and then I strongly advise you to just apply it and actually do something with it, because unless you do something with it, it's completely irrelevant and it's not going to put any change in your life. So look, the first thing is if you want to get more done, right? If you want to get more work done, if you're an ambitious person and you just want to get as much done as possible, achieve as much as possible in your day, here's the thing. Something that we need to get very clear is that to get more work done, which is just to like define it, because unless we define it, we don't even know what you're talking about. So if you want to define it, I would define it as maximizing your ability to use the two resources you have, which is number one, time, and number two, which is energy, right? And here you could argue that you could say like also attention focus, but like focus and attention is just concentrating your energy and utilizing your time to the best of your ability. So you could here like add between those two would be just focus, because it's just concentration of the energy on your time. So but to make things clear, we have two resources, which is just time and also energy. So the better we utilize our energy, and of course, time is a limited resource. We couldn't really influence time. So the only thing we can do with time is to manage it. But obviously, we cannot make time, unfortunately. And in terms of energy, here we can actually increase it. So this one is like pretty much set, and this one can be increased. Right? So we can increase energy and we can not increase time, but we can manage it better. So now that we have those things defined, what we essentially need to do is we have two objectives. We need to just pretty much manage our time as best as we can. So manage time. So that's the first thing. We need to maximize our time management, and two, we need to increase energy. And I'm gonna give you an SOP on how you can actually do those two things and how I'm experimenting with doing that and just getting more work done. So let's just start first of all with increasing energy. So here's a very yeah, just start with energy, because obviously if the more energy you have, the easier it is to just like allocate your time more properly. So look, in terms of your energy, let's just say right now that there are a couple of things that can influence your energy. So there is physical energy. Sorry, what a shame. Energy. What a shame that I cannot spell it. So we have physical energy, we have emotional energy, we have mental energy, and we also have spiritual. And I'm not talking about God here, which I'm going to explain in a second, because this channel is focused on AI agency and productivity and business, and not spirituality. I'm not qualified to do that. So spiritual, right? So what I mean by this, I'm going to get very quickly on how you can use those sources of energy to just very quickly maximize your energy. And after we will maximize our own energy, yeah, that we are going to channel this energy in the form of time, right? Because we are just going to manage our time as best as we can. So let's first increase your energy, and then I'm going to give you an SOP on how you can actually use that energy in your time. So first of all, physical energy. So let me actually just write it down. Let's just make like a square. So let's just say this is energy, right? And here we will put P for physical, here E for emotional, here M for mental, and here S for spiritual. So let's just cover. Okay, that what a shame that I spelled energy wrong. You gotta forgive me. So look. Okay, so we have the energy. How we increase our energy physically. So there are only three things you really need to do. Literally just drink water. And it's a very basic advice, but literally just stay hydrated. sleep for from 7 to 9 hours. But here, in terms of sleep, just be regular, right? And those things are very simple, but ask yourself whether you actually like you do it. So, water, sleep from same time. And here's the thing. It may be a counterintuitive strategy, and this is why you have to experiment yourself because there is a lot of views. But have 5 meals a day. And I know it's going to be very like counter the current narrative, and I'm not claiming this is not any medical advice. This is just my I'm sharing with you my experiences on increasing the energy. If you genuinely eat high quality meals, and here it's high in nutrition, you actually eat high quality carbs, fats, just proteins, and also just eat it in like eat actually some not huge meals, but like energetic meals where you give yourself calories and you give yourself nutrients, but you don't overload your stomach with too much food. In my experience, eating regularly throughout your entire day is just giving me energy. So you can go and test it. I'm trying to eat from the moment like I wake up, I eat something that will give me like actual energy, and I split my day into 5 meals. It's personally giving me energy. You can go and try it yourself, but it's working well for me, so I'm just giving myself energy in form of a food. But obviously, here you need to go and just check what works best for you. But pretty much just stay hydrated, sleep properly, eat high quality meals throughout the day, so you have some form of energy. And here also something which people don't really do is stretch. So I'm gonna tell you from my experience. I've been like when I was just sitting on the computer desk and not doing like not moving for like many hours, I just feel like drained from energy. I feel like my muscles were hurting. But if you just stretch literally a couple minutes every single couple of work blocks, which I'm gonna go in just a second, it's increasing your energy. So in terms of physical, what I have found is just eat regular meals, right, and make them high quality. Sleep from in the same window for 7 to 9 hours. Stay hydrated and stretch. And here I would add like move, right? So actually just implement some sort of physical activity in your day, because obviously if you just even go for a walk, that's going to also improve your energy. And now I'm not claiming that to be any sort of a medical advice. Always, if you have some sort of issues, check it with somebody who is qualified to give you professional advice. But in my experience, staying hydrated, sleeping properly, eating, giving your body and brain calories and glucoses regularly throughout the day is really helpful. Also stretch and also make sure to move. So we have physical energy out of the way. Now, in terms of emotions, it's literally just be positive. And I know it sounds silly, but try it. Literally just try to be positive. Try to see everything positively. And I'm not like in this woo-wah way where like you're seeing the world for rose tinted glasses, but let me give you an example. Every single just in my experience, positive energy is giving you a lot of energy that you can channel towards work. Negative energy is just draining energy, in my opinion and in my experience. So look, literally just take the positive energy, and it's not do not be delusional. Like if something bad happens to you, right? Let's say, I don't know, client would ask for a refund. um Literally just view it positively. You can view negative things as positive, and you will have more energy to attack them and go after them. So there is a big in my opinion, like wisdom in staying positive. It's just giving you literally energy, in my opinion. And listen, I'm not claiming this to be an objective truth. I'm just sharing what has worked for me and how you can perhaps increase your energy. So just literally try to stay positive and see bad things in a positive light. Now, in terms of like mental energy, so here it is pretty much next to your emotions, but here literally try to just have low cognitive load. Look, in terms of your cognitive load, what it pretty much means is try to introduce to your brain as little sensory inputs as possible. Like, if you are going to do very boring things, at least for the first part of the day as you're working, you will have more energy. You will not have to force yourself, because if you know anything about dopamine, if you're going to increase your, like, if you're going to spike your dopamine, then if you're going to compare that activity, let's say, of like scrolling here, with like work, which is probably going to be somewhere like here, it's harder to work if you've been introducing very stimulating activities. So your mental energy is drained. If there is like some drama, if you are scrolling, if you're introducing a lot of like sensory inputs that are actually just making it cognitively, um, how would I, that are just making it cognitively exhausting for your brain, are decreasing your energy. So keep your day as simple as possible. Literally, just try to be boring. Try to do little things. No, just do very simple things, not little things, simple things. And just at least for the first, like, I don't know, 7 hours of, well, no, it's not supposed to happen. For 7 hours of your day, just try to keep your cognitive load low, because so do not introduce any sensory inputs. Try to like have as little stimulation as possible, because that will give you energy in the form of that the work will stimulate you more, so it's going to require less like willpower to do it, which is going to increase your energy. And in terms of like spiritual, I'm not talking about religion or anything like and anything in this nature, because as I said, I'm not going to be discussing that on this channel, and I'm also not qualified. So I'm just literally sharing things that I learned along the journey on the AI automation, like scaling my AI agency, not AI automation, my AI agency. And look, in terms of spiritual things, literally, it's all about your why. So without getting too philosophical and without getting too deep, literally just remember why you are doing it. Like, what is even the point? Perhaps you have a very meaningful goal of, like, let's say, retiring your mom. So let's say I'm gonna write retire. Maybe you want to retire your parents. You've been like you feel the responsibility as a man or a woman to just go and actually retire your parents and give back to your maybe your community, your family. Maybe you have some sort of need for flex. Maybe you just want to buy a Lambo and make your ex feel sort of a regret for some harm that she or he has done to you in the past, and maybe you want to flex and take revenge, right? Okay, I'm not gonna write revenge because it's pointless. But maybe you want to flex. Maybe you, I don't know, want to have freedom. Maybe been experiencing 9 to 5 and you want a financial freedom so you can go and travel. Like there is a lot of reasons why you're starting. The only thing I cannot tell you with the actually discovering the why is whatever your why is. So let's say your why, let's say V1. Ask yourself for the why. So let's say your why, like you want to retire your mom, and then you think to yourself, okay, why would I want to retire my mom? And then you're going to have your why V2, and literally ask yourself why. Like, why do you have your why? And then literally ask yourself like 3 to perhaps 7 times, and you will discover some sort of like a genuinely deep psychological desire to do something, right? And then just bring yourself into like actually try to use it. And now that we have explained energy, just to quickly recap, physical energy, stay hydrated. Literally, like your body is functioning better when you hydrate. Try to sleep from in the same sleep window from 7 to 9 hours. Try to increase just be like actually give your body calories in a healthy, very high natural low processed foods, which are going to equip your brain with glucoses, which it actually needs. And here, I'm not claiming that this is an objective true. I'm not claiming this is like the best way to do things. Always check with somebody, because every single like organism is different. I'm just sharing what has worked with me, and you can try it yourself. But if you have any sort of like condition, like medical condition, always check with somebody who knows your situation. I'm just sharing what has worked for me, which is just giving your brain high quality calories. Here I'm talking about eating fruits, meats, eggs, and things like that. And I've experienced that to give me more energy. Perhaps it's placebo, I don't know. Also stretch. So try to like make your body more flexible and also move throughout the day, right? Now, in terms of emotional energy, literally just try to be positive and try to see everything in positive light. It gives energy. In terms of mental energy, keep your cognitive load very low. So try to get as little stimulation from social media or any drama or anything. Just try to keep your life simple, because then the work becomes like more easy to do and you have more energy to actually go and do it, because you don't have to force yourself. And then in terms of like spirituality, just know your deep reason why you're doing it and remind yourself. So now in terms of time management, here I may have a counter like mainstream narrative right now, but I'm just sharing what has worked for me, and you can go and actually test it yourself. Just be scientific. Probably you're not going to harm yourself in any way, but this is just how I've been able to just increase my energy. And now that we have, let's say, if you apply it properly, we have high energy, or at least we should have high energy. And then it's all about just managing the energy in the form of time management. So let's just say time management here. Now, there are a couple of things that I believe will really help you. So here is how we are going to connect increasing your energy, and also managing your time. So what you do is there are a couple things that we need to split it to two categories. So the day before, right? So here, let's say day before, and then we have the actual day when you want to do something. So the day before, there are two crucial activities that are significantly helping with being productive and actually starting to get more work done. First of all, plan. And it's very basic, but really do it. Like plan what you're gonna do, and I'm gonna show you how to do it in just a second. And then this is something strange. Visualize, but not in like. Okay, I'm horrible at handwriting. So okay, you gotta forgive me. This means visualizing. I'm horrible at hand drawing. So look, literally plan your day, and as you're falling asleep, visualize yourself literally hearing your alarm, getting out of bed, and literally thinking about the plan and how you're gonna execute it. At least for the first couple of tasks, literally see yourself hearing the alarm, getting with the first task, getting it done, getting like moving throughout the day, and literally visualize the success of your next day as you're falling asleep. I don't know why it works so well, but for me personally, it works very, very well. Strongly advised. And now here's how I would do it. I would split your days to either 90 minutes or 120 minute sprints, right? So you set yourself 1.5 or 2 hours, so it's either a 1.5 hour or 2 hour block. And here in this block, you will just get something done, which is obviously prioritizing your task for from other. You have a concentration of force video on my YouTube channel that explains how to prioritize things. But you concentrate your time and energy on this, like on what matters for 1.5 to 2 hours. And the reason you do that is, at least I have found that it puts this little like thought in your brain that you are actually like on a deadline. You need to get something done, and you can just increase your cognitive capacity to really focus because you feel the deadline. And then after those 1.5 to 2 hours of like focused work, what you do. And here, listen, it's counterintuitive to the deep work, like to the deep work, like pretty much research and how you did. Now, I'm not claiming this to be the best way, and I'm not claiming this to like to be objective truth. I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing and what I see that helped me to perform at the highest capacity. And by the way, this research is like very, especially in like athletes, you're going to see similar like patterns, right? Like you need to see yourself sort of like an athlete, not necessarily like a business person. Like see yourself as a high performing intellectual athlete, so to speak. And what I have seen that is if you work for 1.5 to 2 hours, and then what you do is you literally take like a 10 to 15 minute break, right? But here, this break is crucial because in this break, we are not necessarily doing something that are, I don't know, you're scrolling and you're, I don't know, doing something. In this break, there is a specific sort of things you need to do. So on this break, try to move. Try to increase your heart rate so your heart will start to pump faster and you will start to breathe slightly faster and more you will hyperventilate to sort of a certain level, right? So actually move. Also, have some water. Like, try to also drink water here, but have some water. And here's the thing. Try to be positive. And it sounds weird, but let me explain. Positive and have your why. So, as you are stopping between tasks, literally get up, move around. So we are increasing your physical energy because you just deliver more oxygen and blood to your brain because obviously your heart is pumping faster. And overall just move. So you're starting to sweat a bit. You're maybe not sweat a bit, but you at least so that you feel like your heart is pumping blood faster. It's like refreshing you. At least for myself, I have found it's just refreshing. Also, have some water, and then this sounds weird, but if you try to maybe understand what I'm trying to say. If you really like try to be positive and you increase your like emotional state, for some reason, for the next sprint, you have way more energy. It's very effective. And also remind yourself why you are doing it. And also relate the sprint to your purpose. So you work for like 2 hours and then you stop and you get up, you move around. I don't know, you do some shadow boxing, whatever you want to do. I don't know, do some push-ups, drink some water. Think about your why. Maybe visualize, I don't know, retiring your mother. Think about something positive. Like, for example, think positively in terms of like your hardship. Think positively about something. And if you do this split of like a sprint and then like a break, for some reason, you really have, at least myself, you have a lot of energy as you're working. Like this 2 hour block is actually high quality performance. Perhaps it's gonna not work for you as well, but I have found it to be more effective than like deep working session and like focusing for 6 hours or like 4 to 6 hours of like deep work. I have found that when I'm working for like 2 hours and there's like a break, and then I work for another 2 hours, I can get way more work done because I'm working more and I'm not like pretty much exhausting myself so much. So I'm being intensive, I take a break. I'm being intensive, I take a break. Now, is that going to work for you? I don't know. I'm just sharing with you how I get more stuff done as an AI agency owner. So have high quality and increase your energy, and then channel that energy in the form of planning your day, visualizing your day being a success, and then sprinting for 2 hours. Have a break where you refill your spiritual and emotional energy and also your physical energy. And also, oh yeah, one thing you can do is what helps me is literally just meditate for like 5 minutes. Like just try to clear your brain. And now, this is actually based on like this idea is based on the on a book which is called hold on, I'm gonna literally pause the video and check. Okay, I just checked it because I forgot the book is called The Power of Full Engagement, and this idea is actually mainly inspired by this book. But the visualization and planning is something that I have. Sorry, visualization is something that I have added in my experience. But yeah, hopefully this is going to help you get more work done as an AI agency developer, or AI agency owner, or an AI developer. Yeah, apply it, and perhaps it's going to increase your energy. And if you want to see more content about AI and useful things in terms of AI agency and how I'm scaling my own AI agency and how I'm sharing the lessons I have learned along the way, then you can subscribe. And yeah, thanks for watching.